Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit. And we are continuing our series of daily morning meditations where we generally look at one or another of the lessons that are assigned for morning and evening prayer, what is known as the daily office lectionary. However, on Sundays, we do deviate from that generally because, first of all, the lessons don't follow sequentially on Sunday, whereas Monday through Saturday, the lessons do follow in sequential order as we work our way through various books of the Old Testament or Gospels or the Epistles. But today I wanted to talk about something completely different. I know sometimes we talk about the feast day, sometimes we talk about the collected prayer of the church on this day, but today I want to talk to you about this. And if you were in church last Sunday, you recognize this. And if you are at home, you've recognized on our email list that I've been sending out reminders about this. Well, what is this? This is a booklet that we've put together to start praying and thinking about how it is that God is going to be renewing St. John's Church and equipping us for ministry, both through COVID and beyond. Quite frankly, this coronavirus and the shutdown that resulted from it has certainly made things, well, let's say, interesting. And we had that long shutdown. By God's grace, we're now on our 15th week of being open for public worship. Last week, we had 80 people spread out over 3 services. We've got plenty of room in our massive sanctuary and in our pretty good-sized chapel that we can put in plenty of more folks. So I hope that you will join us for worship. Matter of fact, we could put 200 people in the big church and still have enough room to social distance. But one of the things that the vestry has been talking about is how the parish can continue and become even more focused on being a mission-centered parish. Remember that our mission statement is pretty simple Christian 101, and that is to know Christ and to make him known. And so we are focusing on that as we reboot, which is kind of what's happening now as we are coming out of this corona tide and people are making their way back to the public worship of the church. We're rebooting and refocusing and finding ways in which God can help to lead us into the type of renewal of this parish so that we don't lose sight of our primary purpose, which is, again, to know Christ and to make him known. And so this booklet is actually 28 readings that are taken out of a booklet that was published in 1952 called Renewal of the Church. That's actually the cover of the original booklet. And it's written by Richard Emmerich. Bishop Emmerich was the bishop of the Diocese of Michigan here from 1948 until 1973. That's a very long time. And when he was bishop of this diocese, the diocese actually was the entire half of the state of Michigan. Remember, Michigan looks like a mitten, and the entire half of the state was the Diocese of Michigan. Now it's 2 different dioceses, Michigan and Eastern Michigan. And when he was bishop of this diocese, he was the son of missionaries, born in Turkey, and a great academic, but he was primarily about mission and ministry, and that mission was to plant parishes so that the gospel of Jesus Christ could be spread. And in the time that he was bishop of this diocese, there were 49 new missions and parishes started, which is really quite fantastic. It averages out to 2 a year. And so, unfortunately, this has not been true since Bishop Emmerich's time, and in fact, the diocese, after the split, both the Eastern Diocese and Michigan have contracted. And so, this is a great opportunity for us as a parish, and then eventually, hopefully, as the diocese, for us to renew our mission. And so, the 28 readings are short, they're 2 or 3 paragraphs each, help us to be reminded of how it is that we can focus on renewing the parish so that we become mission-minded. And I thought I'd read to you a little bit out of the first reading that's assigned, and he says this: the church is renewed from above. And we miss the whole point of our faith if we do not see that worship is the greatest thing that we do. Since we are set in the midst of a secular culture, we are doubtless tempted to believe that renewal will come from better organization, promotion, public relations, the acquiring of more money, or any of these secondary things. But we must realize that worship is the most important thing we do simply because it alone changes our hearts and strikes at the center of our being. As we worship and truly worship, all good things flow from that worship, right? So folks, it's first things first, we worship the good God. And then he'll go on to talk a little bit about doctrine, how we must have sound and right doctrine that's revealed to us by God through the scriptures, the creeds, and the teaching of the unbroken church. And then goes on to talk about different ways in which the church can focus on mission and ministry to put into effect that worship, to put into effect that right belief in order for us to convince the world that Jesus Christ is Lord, right? First we get right, so we know him, and then we share it, right? To know Christ and to make him known. Hey, we got copies of this booklet at the church. I hope you'll be here this morning for church. We handed out copies last week. We've got copies available this week. We've also got a website. It's St. John's Renewal, right? St. John's Renewal.blogspot, blogspot.com. stjohnsrenewal.blogspot.com. And it has all of the lessons on there as well. So I hope that you will pray about this. You will read one a day, maybe read it twice, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and ask God to help us to become the parish that he desires us to be, that we may be the church that he desires us to be. Speaking of church and speaking of worship, it's Sunday. We'll see you in church. May God bless you.